What is up, everybody? Welcome to our Nightmare on Elm Street 4 commentary track. So, if you've listened to the podcast before, you've probably either seen or heard one of these commentary tracks. I feel like this may be maybe a little bit better than some of the other ones, just because I think we're both pretty stoked. I wasn't like overly excited to begin with about the prospect of doing some of these, but now that it's here, I'm actually a lot more excited. So yeah, prepare yourself for a spine-chilling journey into the dream world where Freddy Krueger reigns supreme. Who am I joined with today?
I guess technically now one of the co-host of Class Horrorcast, Tomcat, aka Tom Thompson. Oh no, my alarm's going off. From Strange Brew Podcast, and now part of this. But yeah, I think we're trying to become better at doing the commentaries. We always have a lot of fun. There's one that is I think we should release soon that we thought was great. Uh but it's almost a throwback now because we recorded around Halloween and stuff like that. I do think we've talked about it and we think that we can become very good at entertaining you guys through commentaries or even when you're probably just listening to it, because I'm sure people do that when they're at work or driving, that you can still have fun listening to our thoughts on this.
Yeah, I would
You only get better with practice.
yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, it's because it's a strange thing to do a commentary track, because sometimes like I get sidetracked by the movie and I'm like, oh, dead air, I need to like say
Yeah,
something. So you have to, it's like a weird split between the two. But yeah,
100%.
you can expect behind the scenes insights, trivia, analysis, I suppose. To a degree, we will be doing a deep dive at some point.
Yes.
Very soon. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, directed by Rennie Harlan, takes us back to the twisted world of Elm Street, where the teenagers of Springwood face a new terror. Freddy Krueger, the burned and blade wielding nightmare incarnate, returns to haunt their dreams once again.
And as we're getting into this deep dive, I just watched 2 and 3, and I'll give you my opinions on those movies when we do the deep dive. But I'm fairly excited for this. I am truly a huge fan of Nightmare on Elm Street. It is probably one of my most favorite horror movie franchises ever. Even though some are horribly bad, they are still amazing. Amazing. I have my signed Robert England fucking picture behind me.
So lucky. I'm so jealous of that. I'm just gonna
Um,
buy one of those shitty reproduced ones and be like, yeah, he signed it for me.
yeah, yeah. So no, this is gonna be pretty fun, especially for the people that listen to this and get excited for the deep dive because we plan to go up and above. What's that phrase? It sound like Superman. Up and away. Above what we
And
did on
beyond.
on yeah, up and beyond. But we plan to go above and beyond. Like it's like what's his name? Buzz Lightyear. And be above and beyond what we did on Scream, the deep dive, because we're aiming to do a lot more deep dives and probably become the one like a staple of this show, which I think isn't a terrible idea.
100% I agree with that. I also,
Oh, this
for
is
anybody
really
who's
good,
watching
man.
the video aspect of this, I have my Freddy Krueger t-shirt on. Tom doesn't actually have any
Oh,
Freddy
that's cool.
Krueger attire, which I'm surprised by.
I'm waiting for the deep dive. So I wore the OG Strange Brew podcast design that in retrospect looks fucking horrible. I don't know why anyone was listening to at the time where it was just a bottle cap and a weed leaf. But we still had fans back then. So I do have one Nightmare on Elm Street shirt. I used to have another one, and I think that like I wore it to work and it got mangled. But now what I do is I just buy my own merch. I just spent like $100 on my own merch, the new design that just came out for Strange Brew Podcast. So I got like a sweater, a shirt, a cup, a flag, like, and yeah, it was when you get your taxes back and you actually have money, you're like, yay! The liberals are trying to brainwash you. Oh yeah, we said no more fucking political
It's
shit.
it's so shit though to even have to like we have to buy our own merch. Like I wish there was like a
I
way
know.
for me to just be able to have like boxes of my own merch that I could do like giveaways and just
Yeah.
have shit tons of stuff that I could give to friends and all. But again, like it's like we spoke about before, people don't realize the
How much
cost
money
of
this stuff costs?
running a
Because
podcast.
I've had people shout me out, a fan that produced shirts, but it'd only be around. It would just be shirts and a sweater, around Canada, but then it doesn't ship outside of Canada, and so we're looking at different merch sites. We have T Public, and Teespring, and I've been trying to shop around to see what is the best one. But yeah, to take say even 100 shirts, you'd have to buy them first at a low cost, and then you sell them up priced, even by $10 or $15, and try to make the money back that way. It's more than you think. I'm telling you, if you've never if you're never not producing a podcast, or you've never produced a show or something like that, a television show, even, like, you don't understand the cost that goes into this stuff. Even just making YouTube videos, like some of those dudes, I'm sure they spend tons of money doing that.
It might actually be interesting at some point in the future. Maybe we'll do like something on Patreon or whatever where we talk about some of the behind the scenes of what goes on with
Oh yeah, and the research and all that stuff. But
yeah, it might be interesting to see. So yeah, throughout the commentary track, we'll explore the making of the film, its impact on the genre, the unforgettable performances that brought the characters to life. We'll also discuss the thrilling special effects, eerie cinematography, creepy soundtrack that sends shivers down your spine. So grab your popcorn, dim the lights.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. I know I went a little Asian there.
Get,
For you.
get ready to be transported to a world of nightmares. Whether you're a die-hard fan of Nightmare on Elm Street or experiencing it for the first time, this commentary track is sure to give you nightmares and a deeper appreciation for this horror classic. Without further ado, get ready to press play and step into the nightmare together. Are you all ready? Sweet dreams, or should I say, nightmares.
Sweet dreams, baby.
So
Yeah, I'm pretty, I'm pretty
I want you to
excited
do
for
the
this. And I
the
hope you
honors
do,
as
guys. You
always.
guys get laughs, chills, and laughs at the same time. Because we actually want to get actively really good at making commentaries. Because, like I said, if you listen to this at work, or whatever, or driving, sure, like it will probably be entertaining. But like we always say, watch it with us. Grab a beer, grab some popcorn, grab a snack. Like, especially if you're someone who smokes up, do that. That will be even better. Trust me. Because I've smoked up a little bit beforehand, and I got a nice alien OG. So I'm fucking excited.
So yeah, I guess you're our master of ceremonies normally with the countdown. So I guess I'll leave it up to you to
Okay.
cue it up for everybody.
Um, let's go. We're gonna go. It should be right on the just before the New Line Cinema, as it comes in, and we'll go 1, 2, 3. When you hear me say "Welcome to Primetime, bitch," press play. Um, Even though I know that was the third movie, I can't remember if a line from this one. So as soon as you hear me say the word "welcome," press play, and we'll get this started. Are you ready? Are you set?
Yes, sir.
All right. Everyone get it ready. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to prime time, bitch. That sounded like Mr. T,
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger. I'm sorry.
Slightly.
Okay. Is my volume on? Yep. There we go. That classic. I actually love this song, because I think they're going for like a rock feel, and they develop an album for this movie.
Yeah, they did.
When deep sleep falleth on men. Oh, I missed it.
Fear came up upon me in trembling, which made all my bones shake.
Nice.
Smart
I'm
Egg
alone.
Pictures.
He walks with me.
So, yeah, a 1988 horror fantasy film, sequel to Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors, directed by Rennie Harlan, which we already mentioned, starring Robert Englund, Lisa Wilcox, and Danny Hassel.
Doesn't this have a music video?
Probably.
Does this not have a music video? Nightmare, running from this nightmare.
Also, for people maybe that don't know, Rennie Harlan is actually quite famous Finnish slash American filmmaker, I think he is. He's done what, Die Hard 2, Cliffhanger, Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, I actually like Deep Blue Sea. or at least
Same.
I remember liking it
Yeah, it's fun.
as a preteen.
Yeah, it's fun.
Isn't
His,
that where the sharks get smart? Smart.
yeah, they're like
Okay, yeah.
developing them. They're like injecting them with shit and all. I
And
think.
Sam L. Jackson's in it.
Yeah, he's so cool in that.
Okay. I actually like. Maybe one day we'll have to do a commentary on that.
I'd
Like
love
we
to do
say a
that.
million times.
I'd love to do that.
We
I'd love
have
to do a live
ideas.
stream on that or something. I feel like we could do
That's
some
fun.
fun interacting with like the audience on that one.
Yeah.
Um,
I shout out to the audience. Obviously, watch out for the YouTubes. Like subscribe to Strange Brew Podcast because we put the commentaries up there. But we're sometime going to go live and do a where it's public domain. And you'll be able to watch with us. And I'm sure there's some movies we could get away with doing the same thing with, so that maybe not be completely public domain. So they never
also,
can keep the hero, eh? They're like every movie, the final girl always is like it's a different final girl.
yeah, yeah.
Dun, dun. Let me go inside. It's raining. You know how you relieve stress? People go for a walk in the rain.
Um, a fun fact actually about Rennie Harlan that I didn't know was his
Yeah.
2000 or his 1995 film Cutthroat Island. I've never seen it. Was listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the biggest box office flop of all time.
So when I was drinking one day at my fiance's dad's house, um, he has like a man cave type of thing, and we're playing pool and drinking scotch and smoke cigars, and it just kind of came on Netflix, and they just pressed play, and it looked real bad. It had Gina Davison in it, Davis, I'm pretty sure, and it just looked like the just a shitty pirate movie, and pirate movies should be fun. Also, I saw something fun that would be do that I think we could get away with doing a live for is the Changeling. Like actually showing the movie. I think we might be able to possibly get away with that. That movie freaked me out, man.
I'd be down for that.
It just made me think of the tricycle falling down the stairs, like the wheelchair falling down the stairs. So he's that like, oh, something's falling down the stairs. Everyone gets scared. Is this is supposed to be Nancy's house, right? Is it set? Do you know if it's set up the same way? It
I'm not sure.
doesn't look like it.
So, this movie was released August 19th, 1988, in just over 1,700 theaters in North America. It ranked number one on the opening weekend and grossed 12.8 million. It's still ranked number one on the second weekend, and it was first place on the third weekend.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And it didn't drop out of the top 10 for 7 weeks, I don't think. It grossed 49.4 million at the box office.
How much was it made for?
Wow, I didn't know that. It was the highest grossing Nightmare on Elm Street film until Freddy vs. Jason.
What?
Yeah,
This one. I
and it
actually
is
really enjoy this one, but I'm surprised.
and it is currently the third highest grossing film in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
Wow.
Fucking hell, I had no idea about that.
And honestly, looking back at these, I've watched them so many times. Love them with all my heart. They're so cheesy and ridiculous, and I think that's why I like them.
Yeah, yeah,
I
same.
like Kincaid, man. Kincaid is dope. He said that like when they offered him the role for in the third one, that they wanted like a big strong guy, and he's like, I'm not that, and they're like convinced him to go, and he got it. But they were probably like, we need one token black guy, perfect. Because back then they had to like legally do that stuff, which they should have probably done a long time ago. Because she's supposed to, isn't she supposed to be like the girl from the third one? But she's not, though. I don't think.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think they could get the actress or something. because they know how to use their dreams, right? To almost like lucid dreaming, where they can go into each other's dreams, and
Which, to be fair, is a really cool idea to like
I think
battle
it's cool.
Freddy Krueger.
Because there's gonna be an episode coming out on Strange Brew podcast that is gonna be a Patreon teaser. I'm gonna release it for a bit and then put it out there of some buddies from work. I'm gonna see if they want to jump on the show. Sometimes they're pretty funny dudes. So I'm gonna see how that goes. And we drank whiskey and smoked cigars, and the one of my homies, Brett, told me about how he had a lucid dream, like an astral projection, and it was a frightening story. So everyone kind of like pay attention to that, because if you see like something about cigars or stogies, because I don't know what I'm going to name it yet, like cigar hour or something like that. And he told me about his story about when he was dating a Wiccan, and she taught him how to astral project, and he did it, and it's a frightening story.
Yeah, some of that shit is wild.
And we'll could get in that on the deep dive about the idea of
Hmm.
dreams, right? And how what they are. Because eventually it's going to go on Stranger Podcast, where I want to do an episode on dreams. And then like if we can get a bunch of us on to talk about like our different dreams that we've had that we remember. Cuz if anyone's out there has ever taken valerian root to help them sleep, it actually it makes your dreams more vivid. So if you want to have crazy vivid dreams but probably sleep a little better, try valerian root. It's all natural. And every time I'm on valerian, like I drink a valerian tea or do the tinctures, man, I have crazy vivid dreams, like frighteningly
Yeah,
like
same.
I always dream. I've never not. I can't unless I'm wasted. I dream every night, which most people don't. Back in the day when it was kind of cool to wear like a half put together suit.
I love, yeah, I love seeing all that stuff all night. Just how dated it is, but in a good way. Like it, because it feels like a time capsule.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why these are going to be fun to do, because our plan is to do 4, 5, and 6 for commentaries. And 5 was the one that I've seen enough times, but always kind of avoided. Like near Halloween, I'm like, I'll watch the other ones and see if I get to that one. And that one is like above and beyond crazy. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, look at the style and like her big '80s hair.
Yeah, the highest grossing horror film of 1988.
That's cool. It's
So
just like, yeah,
Rennie Harlan got the job by refusing to take no for an answer. Rather than accept rejection, he instead showed up at New Line Cinema offices on a daily basis,
oh
repeatedly
weird.
requesting to speak with producer Robert Shea. For a variety of reasons, they didn't like any other directors who came in for meetings about the movie, and Harlan always seemed to be around. Eventually, his persistence won the day to some degree because he was so clearly impoverished that his clothes never seemed to change day to day and even began to smell. They had to hire him just so he could afford some new clothes, or so Bob Shea jokes. According to Harlan, Shea rarely ever spoke to him throughout the shoot, even though he would visit the set quite often. That made filming Shea's cameo scene a bit more difficult. The resulting tension meant Harlan lived each day on set like it would be his last, because he was fairly positive that Shea was going to fire him at any moment without warning.
That's uh, that's kind of a sad story. You sound real pathetic saying that
Yeah,
shit. Like,
doesn't sound great.
desperate. Like, I need to do a movie. Let me do just a low budget fucking horror movie, which is not totally low budget, but
I know that this as well, as far as I'm aware, this movie was turned around like super quick after number three, and this had started shooting without a finished script and with no director.
of course it did. And then, when we get in the deep dive, I'm gonna say like this is my problem with some of these franchises. Even though I love them, and I say you gotta love what you got. You know, you gotta have gratitude for the things you have, even if it is movies that we really truly do enjoy. But like even like Nightmare on Elm Street 2, they rushed it. And look at we'll talk about how that turned out, one of the gayest horror movies of all time. But like they rush things and they do it too fast, and these could be better even than they are. But maybe the reason that they're good is because they were rushed, and they just threw things together and made it nostalgic. I don't know. I'm trying to avoid the fans that are like, they're still amazing. Even though they could have been better, we got what we got. Yeah, I know. I agree.
So I'm assuming you're familiar with Freddy's Nightmares.
The
That
TV show,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So
I haven't seen it in a bit. I do think I have it on my collection, my DVD collection, though.
that would be actually an interesting one to do some like random watch along episodes or something with because we
I
can
think
probably
we can because they're definitely public domain,
yeah.
at least mostly.
And the fact that this movie was so successful at the box office was the reason that that TV show was created.
Really? When was the TV show created then?
That same year, and it was released at the end of the year.
Oh, oh, I remember. I still love this song. Whatever this song is, this whole soundtrack on this film is fucking dope. I actually really like what I can't remember anyone's like. I should know all their character names. Once I hear them, I'm like, oh yeah, I love this guy's character too. Mm-mm-mm.
Also, Robert Englund's favorite movie of the series.
Really? I do really like it. This is one of my favorites. I've always liked 3 and 4 because 3 kind of leads into this movie like an extent, like kind of.
I think your favorite though is going to be number 5,
There's this
the Dream
yeah.
Baby or whatever it's called, or Dream Child.
And it's like he's the son of 1,000 psychopaths, and he's in the asylum. Like it's, and I just don't like the whole nun shit that they like. And we'll talk about it when we get to that commentary. I guess because he's like the ultimate evil, but and I can't wait to get in the deep dive, everybody, because I'm going to tell my thoughts about what Freddy is based on and all that stuff. And because sometimes you forget that he is a child molester, and then that's really what he is, man. So are they sister and brother then?
Uh,
They must, yeah, they must be.
yeah.
Because why is he just walking around? He's in his Japan karate studio, working out to some nice '80s rock.
The classic '80s dad.
Yeah. See, have the balls to do that, but then he's probably like beats her, and it goes even worse. My one of my favorite lines of this movie is coming up. Freddy's back. Freddy's back.
The the chick in this who plays is it Kristen?
Is that the main girl? Or no, Kristen? Oh, I know who you're talking about.
What's the actress name? Something weird.
We haven't met her yet, have we?
Tuesday Night or whatever the fuck her name
That's her
is.
name?
Yeah,
What? No way.
yeah.
Her name is
That's
Tuesday Night.
that's her like actress name. Night with a K.
So I was fucking Tuesday night on a Tuesday night.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned fucking because if anyone has seen that documentary, Never Sleep Again, about this whole series,
I'm on my
when
third watch.
when
Like not
majority of
in
the
span of
actors are interviewed about this film,
yeah.
they still like 20 odd years later, when that was made, they still talk about like how pissed off they were of her treatment on the set. They reckon that her and Rennie Harlan had like some weird like thing going on where she was getting all this special treatment or whatever.
Yeah.
And like even in that documentary, which was filmed like 25 years later or whatever it was, like they all still kind of talk about that and allude to it.
See, and I waited to so I'm going through the doc now, and I've watched it probably this will be my third watching. It's like for everybody, it's like 4 hours.
Yeah, it's long.
Um and I've watched the first part, the second part, so I was waiting till I watched the movies. So I could get and then write my thoughts and shit. This is like the dog's pee pee brings back Freddy. And I feel like I remember in the doc them talking about it. It's just like, retrospect. We probably could have thought of something a little cooler
So,
to have
do you
Freddy
know
come
the
back.
story behind that?
Kind of. It's been a while. It's been a while.
So, this is so ridiculous as well. So, when Rennie Harlin came on board and like he was working with the producers to like finish the script and like they were like polishing it and whatever and changing
Yeah.
pieces of it, they bumped into James Cameron. And I think
Okay.
like trying to be like smart or funny, he was like, "Oh, haha, how are you going to bring Freddy back to life this time?" As like a kind of a, kind of making a mockery of like, you're doing that trash.
Yeah.
And as a joke or try to be funny back, he was like, "Oh, a dog is gonna piss fire on him and he's gonna come back to life."
And that's where they got this from.
And that's essentially what had happened. But it was like apparently it was supposed to be way more metaphorical and like it was supposed to be this whole big thing like the dog urinating on his remains is supposed to symbolize a hellhound and how evil
Yeah.
Freddy is and all this. But he was like, it just really didn't like come across on the screen.
No, no.
And
Not at
again,
all.
it's this thing you see, like Bob Shea and all those producers at New Line. Apparently, this was another one of those movies where all these dudes would come in on the day of they were shooting pages and be like, "Nah, here's a new set of pages. We're just gonna do this instead." So this is like about
It's
five
so
different
stupid.
movies spliced together.
Yeah. It's just like, and I love Freddy Krueger's my all-time favorite
Same,
slasher villain.
same.
But like, there's like, it could have been better. Is always like, it like the first one is so impressive and actually scary and pretty creepy and weird and plays on your fears to an extent. And then they just went like once two hit, and it was like we'll talk about that on deep dive, but and then it's just they just rush it, and then it seems like Bob Shea and people for like Weinstein. Was it Weinstein? Wasn't it? Am I wrong?
Uh,
Because no, it's not. It's not.
no.
New Line was Bob Shea,
Yeah, yeah.
and how a lot of the well, it just makes you think the Weinstein's doing that shit too. How a lot of these producers will come in and be
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Well, we were talking about it over a glass of
They
scotch,"
they done that
and
with Halloween, I'm fairly sure, wasn't it? A lot of the Halloween movies got butchered by the Weinsteins.
well, and it's almost like annoying though, because it's like like I've said before, is like producers shouldn't have any say whatsoever. You should be producing the film, trusting the directors and the writers to produce something that the audience is gonna like, considering they should know the franchise or whatever movie they're doing. Um, Especially like someone who like writes their heart and soul into like a script or even a book or a story or whatever, and then have some sort like them come in and ruin it is sad, in my opinion. Yeah, see, Freddy's back. Man, I can't tell you how much yeah, he's in this fucking world of cars. It's like massive junkyard.
I love Freddy so much.
So do I. I don't know. It's just the makeup and shit, and everything's just nice. Except for we'll get into it when we do the commentary on the sixth movie, but how it's just like a latex mask.
I can't lie. When I was a kid and seen some of these, like even
Yeah,
though they were like mad campy and shit, like some of this stuff scared the shit out of me.
I don't get. Yeah, I agree, but I don't get why Kincaid didn't have blood come out of him. Like, what? I just doesn't even make sense. They run out of blood in or the effect that could have been a better kill, to be honest, for the opening kill of having him just shove his knife fingers into the glove into his stomach, and then he's like laying there just holding his stomach. But if you think about the original one, what's her name is like thrown around the ceiling and covered in blood and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Doesn't make sense. Bob Shea, is that right? How does he say his name?
Robert
These are good, eh?
Shea.
As I'm drinking this, I'm drinking a gin soda. I love my gin. This peach one is fucking delicious. I
Rennie
couldn't do a
Harlan.
commentary without a drink.
I actually forgot to bring one up. Yes, I'm kind of pissed off. Yeah, Rennie Harlan based this movie on a Chinese ghost story from 1987 and created all of the nightmares himself based on dreams that he had had throughout his life.
That's cool.
That's kind of interesting.
Oh, I always liked this one. You know why I liked it though, right? Who doesn't like a naked chick trapped in your fucking waterbed? This will be fun to talk about on the deep dive because how they did this effect was pretty trippy. They had to like build the whole set around this like pool. I could imagine what was going through my head
I
when I was like fucking 10
yes,
watching
same.
this. Pause. I know I did that in Freddy versus Jason in the shower scene.
Yeah,
I had to pause it a couple times.
I like as cheesy as some of the stuff is. Like I love some of his one-liners. They're so
I
iconic.
know. See, I'm always gonna be. I will be. Even though I love these movies to death, I will always be a little critical of how like you could have had more. And it's probably budget. I'm sure it is. But had him like slice his throat and then have the blood pour into the pool of water and stuff like that. It's just things like that. I know that it is based a lot of times on budget and stuff, but there's sometimes in these movies where I'm like, you could get so much crazier kills, much in depth, more brutal kills, and I feel like they need to revisit this. I feel like they need to do something really scary. It's got to happen because 2010 was I. It's not that great. I liked it for what it was
Yeah,
because
it's
I was
not
a fan
bad.
of the
Like
franchise.
I've learned to appreciate it a little bit more for what it is, but like I'm not a
It's
huge
not
fan or
completely
anything.
Freddy either. I Robert England is Freddy. I understand that, but
Yeah,
I think it was also the lack of acting and throughout the film. The acting was like stale and
and even like they tried to put in like I know it had a bit more of a serious tone, but they tried to put in some of the like
pedo
one-liners and
stuff.
like quips, but even that was like kind of cringy. I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah,
this doesn't feel like Freddy Krueger. This feels like a dude trying to be Freddy Krueger."
yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Which I feel like eventually maybe we will talk about, or even just do a commentary on, and we can get a lot of the breakdown of how the movie went. But I really do feel like Robert England has one more Freddy in him. You know, you're not that old, bro. Come on, someone's got to do it.
What is the current status of the?
Franchise? Is it like Friday
Yeah.
13th where it's on hold with fucking
Uh,
Cunningham and what's his name? I feed the fish. He's watching like some sort of MTV show. Okay, if you found that, like even the cops would be like, we don't know how this happened. Doesn't make sense. How is he trapped inside of the waterbed and there's no seam to let him out? Doesn't even make sense. Have you ever had a waterbed or known someone that who had a waterbed?
no, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
I know
no.
like two people in my life. I knew one of my friends. They like had a. It was kind of creepy now in retrospect. It was like in their one kind of spare room in the basement had a waterbed, but it looked like a grungy teenager's bedroom. But it's like it was like you sit down, you're like, whoa! It would be really fun on mushrooms, like a light, and to lay in a waterbed and like listen to music.
Yeah, it would. That'd be wild. Okay, yeah. So it's something to do with the rights. Mike
Oh my
Flanagan has
god! Of
actually
course.
come forward and said that he has a pretty good idea for a new Nightmare on Elm Street. He would like to do
With
it.
the with Scream being so successful, like especially the sixth one, why are they not like pay Robert England the money he fucking wants if he wants to come, which I think he should come back. You could do with his age and his health, he's still doing stuff. And with the thing of CGI and all these other components with newer technology, technically, like he just would have to. Yeah, I don't know if he wants to put on the mask, but they could probably. I don't know. There's ways they could do it where he would be comfortable. I feel like he's got three movies in him that he could do. He's not that old. Actors act into
Yeah,
like look at Clint Eastwood and shit.
I don't know. I can't really find exactly what or why.
People they got to be thinking to take advantage of this stuff. And look at there he is right there. Is that not Robert Englund playing the nurse?
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny.
I never
He's
noticed that
progressing.
before. I never noticed that before. Weird.
You've never noticed that?
No,
What? That's
that's
so funny.
weird. I never noticed that.
Yeah. Do you not notice that it looks like a
Fuck.
a trans woman? You stay put. It's so funny to add that in. I love Robert Englund, man. We should do a commentary on V sometime and find like I'm sure we can find it online where it wouldn't be a big deal to. I really want the $400 mask and sleeve you get for the other hand. It's like pure latex, man. Oh man.
I know Blumhouse actually have been trying to get their hands on Nightmare on Elm Street as well for a while.
Oh, don't fucking ruin
And
that shit
and
too,
right,
man.
and their stipulation was that if they get the rights to it or they whatever,
Yeah.
that they are going to make it, but it needs to have Robert Englund
Yeah, it
play
has to.
Freddy Krueger, or they're not going to make it.
Part of me wants that because I feel like Robert Englund might be able to add to be like, this is not the way to go. Let's do it this way or whatever. He might be able to influence it a bit. But I heard the Exorcist shit that they're doing. I heard that is not good. I
Same.
heard that they're like you're and even the Pope's Exorcist. We're gonna probably cover it on the show,
Have you
but
seen that?
not yet. Did you like it?
I fucking loved it.
All right, I might like it. I saw a clip from it, and I'm like,
I was like,
I really like the idea of paranormal stuff and possession. And
put it this way, right? I went into it kind of actively, like, already not liking it,
yeah,
just because I was like, this is gonna be some like tacky like PR movie where they just used a few cool clips.
and you
I
liked it.
thoroughly enjoyed it.
All right, well, we're gonna like. To be honest, for all the fans out there, there's gonna be a lot of stuff coming, and especially when we get closer to Halloween, we can do some like a big real episode on your show, like a real true crime thing, or more or less like the real exorcism, and we can shoot at both of our shows. Like there's so many supposedly real exorcisms that have happened.
Um,
That's crazy. I like they've done some good stuff, but then because of the way they're going, and I feel like they're not taking the time to, I don't know, put their money and time into stuff that actually would be fairly good. They're like seem like they're doing what like some of these movies did back in the 80s, rush everything and not have a proper outline, and it's disappointing.
he was quoted
I want to get more into the A24 stuff too.
on NME like about 6 7 months ago. I could make Robert
Yeah.
England come back, no problem. I could get anyone back. I mean, I just got an 87-year-old woman back to replay her role in the upcoming sequel to The Exorcist. Robert is turning 75 years old. He's young. Craven's estate reclaimed the rights to the film earlier last year. According to Bloody Disgusting, after the acquisition, they had been looking at pitches for both a movie remake and a TV show, likely for streaming on
Don't do the
HBO
TV show.
Max.
Don't do the TV show.
Yeah,
You
please
almost
don't.
need, I don't know what you need. You almost need Robert England to come back for like three movies and then somehow pass the torch in some sort of way. But you have to have an actor, I'm telling you, that is like Bill Skarsgård type of like where they can dive into a role so in like well.
A lot of people
Like
talk
if you think of
about
Bill Skarsgård playing,
Kevin Bacon.
I know. Like, or some famous actor, someone who already has a career that you know is pretty good and that probably could adapt. And you do like it's Freddy, but it's a different Freddy, where you maybe really prey on the creepy aspects, not the one-liners, and the fact that he is a child molester. Like everyone talks about how they should have done a movie when Freddy was, and we'll talk about this on the deep dive, like what happened, the whole story. Yeah, it would be grim and disgusting, but if you look around our world is pretty grim and disgusting.
So this was something I didn't know until I started doing a bit of research on this, but there was a script floating around, I think, called Krueger First Kills, and apparently
I don't even know if I like that
it was an incredible
name.
script. Apparently, yeah, the name I'm not sold on, but apparently the script was amazing, and it was like a more set in reality origin story for him, and it would
Yeah.
connect like how he became the way he was, but it would focus. Apparently, Wes Craven was like really fixated on focusing on like that whole um like the pedophile child murder molester aspect, and it just never, I think it got passed around all over the place, and then it just kind of fizzled out. And
It's kind of too bad. But it I would love to see that. Not the way they did it when we talked about the commentary in Nightmare on Elm Street 6, where fucking goddamn Alice Cooper is his father beating him and shit. Like, what the fuck is that shit, man? Uh, I actually will get it when we get into that one. I actually don't mind that one. I just because the mask could be better. And they always like push them to like sleep. You can see what it does to you. Everyone that's a fan of like comedy stuff, if you like Canadian content, look up Kenny versus Spenny on YouTube. And when they do the who can stay awake the longest, Kenny's just like eating coffee, like not like making coffee, like eating the coffee grounds to try to keep himself awake. Like you like really need to push yourself. Yeah, I wouldn't be if I had to do that out of a contest, if we were filming something or whatever, I couldn't smoke weed. I wouldn't be able to because eventually your mind burns out and then you start yawning and you have to like push through that shit. Hmm.
but I remember like being
How does
younger,
she
man,
know that she was the last course?
and like seeing this
Yeah.
shit and like being genuinely like, not all of it, obviously some of it's goofy, but like some of the things used to scare the shit out of me. And like I remember being young and being like, I wonder, is something like Freddy real, or like or is it like a thing?
Oh, I could see that. I probably had the same thing, but you know what? Like I don't know. I don't know. There's something that more like fascinated me about this stuff where I more like was excited to see Freddy Krueger i- in the movie. Like that's what I was waiting for. And the original, I remember scared the shit out of me. But it made me like, this is creepy but cool. But remember, I was like messing around with Ouija boards by the time I was like maybe 11 or 12. So I always was wanting to invoke that darker side of life and see what it was. So when I was a kid, I probably would have been like, if something like Freddy's real, can you try to contact me? I'll help you. I'll help you fucking murder people. It's like I always thought like it is so. This is such a stupid thought. But I was a kid. I used to always thought that I could help them. Like if they're trying to kill me, I always was like, I'm gonna play that was in that new Halloween movie where I'm like, I'll help you. Don't kill me. Let me live and I'll help you. I'll be your mastermind. I'll be the guy in the chair. Never had that thought? You don't want to be the guy in the chair for like Jason?
Sorry, I got sidetracked there looking at her in that bikini. I was like, wait, do we get any like nudie?
No. The
That's a
80s
pity.
bikini, bro. It's not
That
that nowadays, you go to especially Europe and stuff, they don't really wear anything. It's not really left up to the imagination anymore in our culture. That's so stupid.
Wow, that was the tackiest thing I've ever seen.
The
Wow, those
the
moans.
Freddy Krueger like shark fin is so dumb. But I like it.
I hate when I love this bit. Let me put my sunglasses on for no reason.
I know.
That
Yeah, so
that
I'm
like image of him with sunglasses on is so iconic now. That's on like millions of t-shirts.
I know. But that's what makes it kind of fun. You can do whatever you want in your dreams, and that's why I'm saying, you know how incredible these films could be today if they got Robert Englund in on it and did like 3, 4 films or five. Like they could probably pump out 3 films at least with him. And you can use all the CGI stuff now and create the most lavish, crazy, creepy, dark, horrendous dreams that you could ever think of.
I was listening to a thing where they were talking about Rennie Harlan again, and apparently for the the 30th anniversary of this movie,
Yeah.
um, I think it was Scream Fest or one of those like conventions or festivals. They held like a Q&A um screening or whatever,
Yeah.
and Bob Shea wasn't invited. But on the quiet, apparently, Rennie Harlan invited him and asked him to come. And he cites Bob Shea as the man who single handedly changed his entire life.
Really?
And apparently,
Wow.
he said
Because
that
he gave him a
Bob Shea,
chance.
yeah, and he said that Bob Shea is not like the person that a lot of people make him out to be. He was like, he even called Rennie's mother, I think, the day the movie released, and he had someone teach him Swedish so he could talk to his mother and congratulate her on how successful
Wow.
her son was
He
and all
doesn't
that
sound like
shit.
such a dick.
Yeah, fresh meat.
How many Freddy Krueger gloves do you have?
Currently, I actually only have one. I wanted to get them
Uh,
all, like to have each one from
yeah.
each movie.
I have like the big clunky one that you can get like for like $60 at like most places. And then I bought this off eBay and I think it's number 2 or 3. And it's not like the other one I have is very like it's not like a real glove. It's just like flimsy. But man, when I first got this, you know how many times I just sat there when I was drunk, just playing around with it. I kind of like that idea of like these are all my children
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how he like absorbs their energy. Because yeah, even in what this third or second one, he's like, "You are all." That's the second one. Where he's like, "You are all my children now." And when he comes into the party for no reason, and you have like 50 kids, they could probably beat you up. Greetings from hell.
In Japan, this movie was retitled A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. What?
Dweem Master, Master of Dweem.
Whoa. Whoa. Everybody,
Is that bad? Why is
that
that bad? Why is that
that
bad? Why is it
that
bad?
doesn't reflect anything I've ever said, so
Okay.
burn Tom at the stake.
What? Because I made an Asian accent?
Yeah, it's bold.
Is it bold? Why?
So I
Why is
hear.
it?
So I hear.
All right, if you guys think that is offensive, I maybe you shouldn't listen to Stranger
Uh
Podcast because
oh.
it's not gonna help.
You're gonna have to get used to it.
Yeah,
No, it's a really strange name actually. A Nightmare on Elm Street 4: The Last Counterattack.
I don't even know how that makes
What's
sense.
that even like? And now
The last counterattack.
that's
So that
not a
means that he's on the
Japanese
offensive.
translation. That's like that was the English title that it was given in Japan.
What?
I doesn't make any sense.
Is it because of this guy? This guy. You think I'm bad? This guy is like doing karate while wearing a Japanese flag head fucking bandana, and he's got a Japanese flag when he's doing his karate moves. So, what does he think? All karate and kung fu come from Japan? Maybe
Also, actually, I forgot about that. Freddy was like a rapper as well at one point.
in this one.
Just in general, in his
What?
yeah, Freddy Krueger, man, he's like had multiple rap songs. Are
There's
you
no
ready?
way.
Are you ready for Freddy? Where you see the Fat Boys have that song, and he's like rapping alongside of
I
them.
actually like the Fat Boys. I haven't listened to them in a long time, but that's fucking funny. Weird.
So
All right,
random.
can we? We have to play some of that, even a couple seconds on the deep dive.
Oh,
We gotta play.
100%.
I feel like a couple of seconds of some of the songs, even like the '80s ones, because we'll get away with like fucking 10 seconds or something like that. So please cut it out.
Also, the the place where I think it's that chick works
Hmm.
is called. You barely see it. It was earlier, but it's called the Craven Inn.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that.
There's like a shit ton of that kind of stuff in a lot of these movies that like no one ever really talks about.
Was Wes Craven directing all of these then?
No,
Someone else was writing them. No, I wouldn't think so. It's like he didn't fucking
yeah,
put his
no.
name on all this shit.
I think every time they came back to him, they were like, "Hey, this done really well at the box office. Want to write the next one?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm good. Thanks."
I respect him for it though. Like he maybe didn't like what they did to it. I don't know. Like
And
because
I think even at one point, like even with this,
you
after
made
the
it a joke,
success,
like in some regard.
yeah, like I think after the success of number three, they offered him to like completely rewrite whatever ideas they had for this one, and he
Yeah.
was going to be able to write and direct, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'd rather not."
I don't know. I think they took his idea and they kind of and I don't know what it would be without that. But like they did make it kind of a scary anymore, right? And they did this with like even you could argue like part 3 and 4 of Nightmare on Elm Street or Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, Friday the 13th is pretty good and can be considered scary, and then it just became more and more campy and jokey and. But I don't know. I think that's part of the reason why I love these movies.
Rick is the karate dude, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the
The
character's name. Yeah,
racist.
he was
Yeah.
originally supposed to
I'm
die
kidding.
in a an elevator scene, and it was going to have the elevator fall apart all around him, and then he would fall
Yeah.
into just like empty dark space. I suppose similar to something like Get Out.
Yeah.
And it was apparently like the concept for this was like a really cool effect,
Learning is
and
fun. Yeah.
they couldn't do it because they had already ran out of money, and
Of course they did.
the script wasn't finished as it was, so it was just like, yeah, just scrap that idea because we don't really.
So disappointing of all the stuff that could have been better. You know what I mean? Like there is that thing of like, what would these films have been if they took the
Yeah,
time to write them? Even with the newest installment in the Scream franchise, it's like they gave him 2 weeks to write a script or some shit. Like that's like crazy to me. Like I feel like a month to write a script, even more, a year. Get some real good thought processes in there. What's with the computer arm, the robot arm? Learning is fun with Freddy. Not gonna lie, I really enjoyed when this nerdy chick dies. I don't know. I found her character always annoying to me.
yeah, yeah. Every time Freddy
I like
pops up,
that.
I'm like, I love Freddy.
I know, so do I. I like that it kind of shows how sharp his like glove would be.
Uh huh.
That he could just peel through an apple like nothing. I like, and there's so many ways I feel like they could utilize his character, his weapons, his costume, all that stuff nowadays. But hopefully we get there before they should have done this a couple of years ago. Robert England was like 70. Like I don't know.
Yeah, because they're like pushing
I
it
feel like they're pushing their
farther
luck.
and farther
Yeah.
and farther.
Mm. And you have to have somebody that the fans could be like, okay, it's not Robert England, but it's funny how we always we in the deep dive we'll discuss this. It's always there's always some sexual nature
Yeah,
behind him though. Oh, I
yeah.
love when he like sucks her soul out of her body. But if you notice that, I think they do that on purpose. Oh, that actually is pretty freaky. I think it's done on purpose that they kind of allude to him being this sexual predator for like teenagers. But it's probably in retrospect,
Uh,
if they did do a movie about him, it would have been young
And you know what's
kids.
weird? Like that, even though that was like the lore behind him, he was such like a pop like icon and like a kind of I don't want to say like a sexual or like a sexy, but like he was kind of like I don't know, like at the time he was like the one of the like it things.
Yeah, I know. Even more than like where Jason doesn't talk, right? Michael Myers doesn't talk. Like, yeah, I don't know if you're gonna really bring Leprechaun on, like a show, but he's like a character where they could put him on talk shows and stuff, and he
Yeah,
could play the character, and the audience would love it, and that's why I think that why I've always liked Freddy Krueger. He's like one of those villains that can talk and tease you and toy with you.
yeah.
And the whole concept of it is cool. And that's why I'm like, man, I keep thinking about the ways they could do it nowadays. The CGI, it would be incredible looking if you put the money into it. You could make it this immersive experience where you can go see it in 4D and have like stuff moving and stuff like, you know what I mean? Like it could
Just
be
imagine
so
how
good.
yeah.
And when we get in the deep dive, maybe we should discuss ideas of how you could or do that on an episode on its own if the fans want it. Like I think that would be kind of smart to even do an episode on its own where we discuss like where could you go with this franchise? Could you start new and do something really in depth, or just have some really fun, exciting, scary film?
I just think there's so much potential.
So do I.
It's kind
And I
of
think there's a way to bring Robert Englund in, and then kind of phase him out and have someone. I don't know. There's a way to do it. I'm sure there is, and to make people still enjoy it and love it and I don't know, get to know the new Freddy, but
let's see what some of the taglines were for this
okay.
movie. I was like looking at some of this stuff. Uh, let's see. In the US, the tagline was "Terror beyond your wildest dreams." Um,
Could be better.
UK tagline: "The name's Krueger, Freddy Krueger." Wow.
Oh, that is actually WACK whack.
Uh,
That's I don't even like that. It's
and
because you guys have
then
James Bond over there.
then the two what do you mean over there?
Oh yeah, I guess you're over there. Yeah, you know what I mean. I
That's a
mean
bit
you
rude.
people.
You're trying to Tom again is trying to tell me that Irish people are English.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying over there on the
You
other side
you
of the
people,
ocean.
you
Yeah, I said you
people.
people. Yeah, yeah, you potato farmers.
That reminded me of, you've ever seen Anger Management?
What seed? Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, you know when he's on the plane and he's the air marshal comes down. He's like, "What's wrong with you people?" He's like, "You people, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
I won't
Okay, you know
fit."
who Don Cherry is? The famous hockey. We promise not to get political on shit, but he's like
Oh,
he's a famous hockey announcer, like very famous in Canada, like this like ruthless kind of hockey dude, and he's like legit famous here, and he got in trouble and like canceled for saying "you people," legit. So so
how
wild.
pathetic! Like,
I know. What's the tagline in Japan?
that I don't know, but the home video taglines are "Are you ready for Freddy?" and "Pure evil never really dies." Yeah, not really
It's
blown
like
away
one of the
by
best
any of
ones.
them.
No, not neither. By. Speaking of weird, gym class, bro. Shower with a bunch of dudes, and the coach gets mad at you if you don't fucking shower.
See, we never really had that so bad here.
Yeah,
Like we had what used to be called was PE.
yeah, that's what we had. Physical education.
Yeah, so like it was like, oh, you've got a double class of PE. Like, all right,
I
and we'd have to like go out and like do whatever, but like we didn't. Well, we had
yeah.
showers, but like we like weren't allowed to use them. They were like all manky and shit. So like you would just put your
Oh, weird.
uniform back on, like all like sweaty and
Ew.
yeah,
You had a
disgusting.
uniform? What's manky mean?
Filthy.
A manky.
Yeah, have you
You
never
call
heard of that?
someone I'm like you're manky. No, there's Bob Lachey there.
You
Is
get
it
away from
Lachey
me,
or Bob Shea? Is it Lachey? Bob Lachey. I
no,
was earlier I was saying Bob Shea. Is this Bob Shea?
Bob Shay,
This
yeah.
has a lot on it. Weird.
Yeah, Bob Shay.
Yeah, I always skipped that class. I skipped a lot of classes, but that specifically because I was either high all the time or I was like kind of drunk. So I'm like, I ain't going to fucking physical education,
I used to be just
and
like,
that's
this
why
is
I'm chubby to
fucking
this day.
like, but I used to kind of laugh about that because I was like, all the guys who were like into sports, and I'd be like, "Oh, what are you fucking a gay or are you some kind of fag or something? You won't play or you won't do PE?" And I'm
I don't
like,
want to shower with you guys.
I
That's
was like, to be honest with you, I actually find it quite gay that you want to fucking run
yeah.
around and do all that. I don't want to do any of that bullshit. Just
You
leave me
can't tell
alone.
me that you're completely straight if you do wrestling, right, Aaron? Like jujitsu, especially.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, you're definitely a bit touched.
A bit touched.
But yeah, Mankey is also a Pokemon.
Oh, so funny.
Um,
Is it so weird?
but yeah, Mankey would have been something like when I was younger. Like if somebody was like,
Oh, weird.
like filthy or like scummy or whatever, you'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, get away from me, you manky bastard."
I don't know. I feel like if I said that to someone who is not white, I feel like I
Yep,
would be like
yep,
crucified.
yep.
Oh, here's the fucking
Elevator
scene.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently it was supposed to be way better than it actually turns out. And there was
Some of these kills, I'm like, I love the film, I do, but it could have been so much better.
also another thing. There was a whole like explanation that he was super afraid of elevators that like got caught.
Uh, Elevators are freaky, dude. When I was in like, especially some older ones, when I was in Niagara Falls, there's this. Do you know the Cup Hotel? Have you ever been to the Canadian side? Right?
Yeah,
There's like a Cup Hotel, and people would know if they're Canadian. Um, and it's just like the first time we got a hotel, and we were across from the Cup Hotel, and came in, and Chelsea's like, "Oh, there's people fucking in the window," and I was like, "What?" And I was like, ran over the window, like stuck my
scrambling,
face on
going
it,
what?
and then I just saw them realize that people were watching and try to get out of the way. But it's so
Oh,
we eventually rented it out. We're like, oh, this weird cup hotel, and it was literally shaped like a cup. So all the rooms are like round and stuff. Like it's weird. And when you went up in the hotel, you could see, or in the elevator, it was old and wood, and you could like see, like there was like holes in it, and you could like see it go up, and it would like shake and stuff. And oh, I did not like it. I'm not gonna lie, Converse would probably be a great shoe to wear if you were doing combat like this
yeah.
with a fictional character.
Yeah, it's kind of a pity like that they caught all the stuff about like his fear of elevators and shit. It just kind
But
of
why?
doesn't really explain.
But why is this, man? Why do they think this is better? Did they add him being fascinated by like the Japanese culture or something like that in to have this scene?
I don't know because that's like probably one of my like least favorite,
Yeah, like
and it's just kind of
so
in there,
weird.
and you're like, okay, that was
But they could
random.
afford to like blow out the windows. I'm sure there's places they could have cut budget to make a better. You know what I mean?
But that to me sounds like producers and like people who've given money and went, no, 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 no. I came up with that stupid idea and I want it in there.
Yeah, I know. Every time I want to do a political thought, it's like just like the corporations that own your government, and then they tell you, it's like, why do we have this policy? And it's like because it's not the government giving you these policies; it's the corporations, which is so similar in movies, though. You know what I mean? If you see some of this stuff, like they're like I'm saying, probably around a glass of like scotch. You know, got like Bob Shay's drunk with his buddy, and it's
Yep.
just like, you know how great this would be. Like if we just do this, that'd be funny. And then they like even this scene. I can't wait till we because we're gonna wait and we're gonna for all the fans out there discuss a new Nightmare on a different time. But I feel like Wes Craven brought back the kind of I don't know, scary, fear surrounding Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Even if we don't do a commentary, I think we should watch it with each other beforehand and maybe then just like talk about it right after or something because it'd be cool to be like our raw thoughts. Um, because I do really enjoy that movie. I enjoy all these movies, to be honest, even the fifth one.
Same. Like I do like the entire franchise, to be honest with you. And I know they're goofy and like
Great movie to watch while you're drunk and stoned, man.
bit all over the place, but like I don't know. There's something about them. I just
Sure,
think
I'm
that
not
they're
advocating drug addiction for everybody.
they are.
Some alcoholic in Ireland's like, I can't anymore. My liver is dust.
Oh wow, so that's expensive now. I was just looking up the
80s hair is so dope, kind of.
Dream
I don't know. I kind of
Master
like it.
Trick or Treat Studios Nightmare on Elm
Oh, that's
Street 4
cool.
glove, but it's $180.
Okay, let me see. I can tell which one I have. I wish I kept the box. I might have it somewhere. Let me look this up. I can probably find out the one that I have. Do you know which one you have?
No, let me check. Oh, I have to get up to check though.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's okay. I always wish I keep the boxes of stuff, but
I know.
holy. Nightmare on Elm Street Deluxe Freddy glove is $200.
Ouch. I really want, I don't know if you've
It's just
seen, but
pre.
Trick or Treat Studios are doing the Rob Zombie Michael Myers masks.
Oh yeah.
And I want to get some of them so fucking bad because they've been so rare and so hard to get.
You love those movies, eh? What are your favorites? Oh, I want the Freddy mask. I used to buy masks all the time, and I don't have anywhere to display them. But if I revamp the studio, even like the original Nightmare on Elm Street mask, like they have in Trick or Treat Studios, is looks dope. It won't fit my fucking head though.
I have a
$60.
masker, yeah, and it's
I'll
pretty
pay four
badass.
installments of $14.99. That's fucking great.
Do it. Do it right now.
No, 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 no. I just spent too much money on my own
Do it.
merchandise.
Do it. Do it.
So I think this is number two's glove. It looks like it. Oh, my favorite song.
Could you imagine, right? Here's a cool idea. Getting all that shit off of Trick or Treat Studios and being able to have a little setup where you've got the mask, the hat, and the glove from each movie.
Oh, that'd be sick. I do have the hat. I've worn it on the podcast before. When me and Anton did our episode about the Civil War, I wore it because it looks like an old school hat. So I wore that because I have. Yeah, I'm gonna have to set up the mask. For sure.
I want these so bad.
I know.
Why do I
I
start
hate it.
looking this fucking stupid shit up now?
No, you can wait. Right, you're still young. Oh, I'm looking at the Nightmare on Elm Street. For the Dream Master, the you get the hat and the mask. It looks pretty cool. The eye holes should be a little smaller, but
$89.99.
yeah,
Yeah, that's actually not bad considering.
no, it's cool. I don't know why that one is. I guess we could get in the hat too. It's like $90, but the OG mask, oh, with the hat is 89. Okay, yeah, yeah. So it's because you get the hat too. Oh man,
I know. Anyone out there listening
I'm
want
addicted to buying horror shit.
to like donate some shit to us?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I haven't bought any horror stuff recently. And I feel like Chelsea could barge in and be like, well, what about this? I'm like, I can't even fucking remember. But that's why I'm pushing to go to Spencer's because I'm getting that Scream lava lamp and
You
a
need that,
shirt
don't
or
you?
something. I do. I need it, man, so bad. Let me look and see. Because I should be able to show the deluxe glove, which is crazy. Shop by license. Licenses, because I'll show. Oh, Candyman. Oh,
Let me see if I can find. Just give me one second.
I hate looking at this stuff. Oh my god, the Otis mask would be so funny. Okay. Man, I love this 80s music on these films. Ghost. Mm-mm. I want your hands on me. Let me see.
Okay, so
Did you bring the glove? Oh, they have it, man. They have some like such awesome
I know,
stuff
yeah,
on them.
I had to stop
Man,
myself from looking at Trick or Treat Studios because they do everything
you
that I
see that they
want.
have the monsters, but there's
Yeah,
nothing there yet, so they must have something coming. I love that. I don't give a shit. Love the monsters.
this glove is Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors.
Oh, I guess I can tell at the bottom. I didn't know that.
Yeah, look,
NECA.
my one has like this on it
Oh,
on the
where's
hand.
mine? Oh, I don't think mine does. Oh yeah. Number 3.
So we
Do
have
we
the
have the same
same
glove?
glove.
Wow.
What
We
are the
are
chances of
destined to
that?
be best friends.
What are the chances
That's
of that?
fucking so weird. Weird I chose this one. I think I got this off of eBay, but I was looking at other ones too. I probably didn't get that much cheaper. I would buy another one too. Even I have Friday 13th mask for 4 and 5, but I really want 3 with the first cut mark in it. She going by to the movies
Is
by
that
herself?
that one?
Let me see. Yeah, that's the one I want. And there's an antique store that I know has it, but I feel like it's the same. It's just paying for shipping. Because I've seen
Yeah,
it and
yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I can't I
This is
can't do this
NECA as well,
anymore.
and I love like how
Yeah, it's stern. It's hard. It's like ceramic. Oh my
yeah,
god! But you
it's
could also get it for more expensive. I can't put this glove up. I used to take like a tape and stick the gloves on the bottom because it's like the
so
hand
it
is like a
stays up.
flimsy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Looking at this stuff, I'm like, it's in. I'm starting to like try to budget myself. I'm like, okay, I have this much money to spend this month, and it's like, if you
I
want to
have
use
a
it all,
serious problem with that.
I can see your background. You definitely do. But I don't display all my stuff because I have all my stuff in like it's in containers under like my beds and stuff. But if I can somehow set up the studio different, I might be able to put up everything. What's the difference in the deluxe glove?
That's actually a good question. I'd be interested to know what the difference is there.
I'm looking at the video for Churchy Studios, and it's just like it's they put more money into the leather and all that stuff, and yeah, I was talking about the knuckle being hard to bend and stuff like that, and how they put and that's with this one. You can't really like actually do what
Yeah,
Freddy does with the
yeah.
glove. Man, we're just showcasing our addictions. Yours is slightly more worse than mine is. How much money do you think you have behind you?
Oh God.
Thousands of dollars, especially some of the masks, man.
Yeah. Like,
You
and
know what
then
you're gonna have
some
to
of
do,
those
right?
like custom, like that custom fucking leprechaun,
Yeah.
and then that motherfucker there, that custom Vincent St. Clair from
Yeah.
House of Wax. Like those two alone, we're probably talking like 8 or 900.
Crazy.
I know, yeah,
But you
it's
know what
fucking
you're gonna have to do, right?
psychotic.
You can't give it to your kid. You're gonna have to be buried with it like the Egyptians.
Yeah, that's like I was thinking about that. I was like, I was like, when I die, what's gonna happen to all my shit? And I was like, I need like to have that. Like, I don't know if I get cremated, you're gonna have to like burn all that shit with me or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. I like that idea. I can't put the glove up now. It's gonna fall over.
Weird.
Isn't that supposed to be her? And
Why did his
I
voice like was
yeah,
like
I heard that.
really weird? He was like, he sounded like
I
fucking
know.
Scooby Doo.
I heard that. And him eating the meatballs of her friends.
I mean, you know what, right? For 1988, it's quite like advanced
That's fun.
in its ideas.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, it's so weird. I think that the server though was her when she was older. Oh, and he's using her because she has some sort of power to connect to other people to get into other people's dreams. I guess is the idea. Sure, they just threw that shit together very quickly. I want to sharpen these. I want to make my own Freddy Krueger glove where it's legit sharp and can fuck somebody up.
You could probably do that in work, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's a. I would have to really design it, but yeah, probably could actually with all this stuff we have at the job. I my buddy's a welder. He could probably weld the blades on. Maybe one day I'll be like, hey, how much would this cost? Realistically, all right?
Hey, I'm a fucking scary weirdo. Make me
Yeah,
a
yeah,
knife glove.
yeah. I'll tell you some stuff off air. And that's like, yeah, just stuff we've made.
I think you've told me some of it before.
Yeah. So wild. Can't do that anymore, but maybe the Freddy Krueger glove. It's just it's it's fun. Run.
Now you have me like
What?
obsessed with
What?
looking up fucking Friday the 13th merchandise.
Or Nightmare
Or
on Elm
Nightmare
Street.
on Elm Street, sorry. Fucking hell. How
Best
rude.
selling. Yeah, very rude. You know I have a mask. I just want another mask now.
What mask?
I think I have it from A New Nightmare. Pretty sure I haven't pulled that for him.
That always used to
Pretty sure.
freak me out. Where he fucks her arms up
Yeah.
with the.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How fucking gross is that?
It's pretty creative, honestly. Oh, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
even
it's
like the
like the
look of that.
fucking. Doesn't that end up like, yeah, she like sprouts fucking arms?
But part of me is like they're kind of taking the same idea from the. It's that's pretty messed up, I guess. Yeah, but they're taking somewhat the same idea when it comes to the third movie when they have the guy that he puppets him with his
Yeah,
arms.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a weird. I don't know why they chose to. This is a really weird one. Her fear is bugs, I guess, or turning into a bug. They were. I know they try to get really creative on some stuff, but there's some stuff I'm like, could have
Yeah,
been a little
yeah.
better. Could you have more of like a better thought of a finalized thought? Because sometimes it seems like they start with it and they're like, how can we do this? And then they're spending money on trying to create it through effects, and they don't even have a good idea of what it could look like. You know.
Yeah, and I think that's where then like other people come in last minute and like come up with other fucking plans, and you're going, what are we actually doing?
Yeah. Don't understand. Don't understand.
There is, I have found on Hot Topic, a Freddy versus Jason Freddy woven button up shirt. And it's
Really?
like this silk shirt with a picture of Freddy on the front. It looks like a bowling shirt, and it is the
I look
coolest
this up
thing
right
I've
now.
ever seen. And it's reduced
I'm.
to 24.50, and I'm like, I want that so bad. It's so cringy, and I would
Oh,
never
that's
wear
cool.
it.
You wouldn't wear it?
Well, I would, but like, I don't think I
Yeah, I
would like
would.
be wearing it like out to fucking hang out or anything in public.
Oh man, I have that like tie dye Friday 13th shirt.
They have
They
a,
have an Elm Street
yeah,
dark
I
wash
seen it.
boyfriend. Oh, it's for a girl. I was like, it's $16, man. Ooh, I like that sweater. Oh no, now I'm down a rabbit hole. Oh, the bowling shirt. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Bro, I would wear that shit. I wouldn't give two fucks. Dude, the Nightmare on Elm Street, like the Freddy tie-dye sweatpants are fucking awesome.
yeah, and there's a long sleeve like tie dye
Wow, the price is not that
poster,
bad.
um, like a long sleeve fucking top with some weird poster on the front of it, and I
Oh yeah.
want it so bad. It's like that blue, dark blue tie
Wow,
dye.
the price on some of this stuff is not that bad.
Yeah, I know, right? I love how we're supposed
That's
to be
not.
doing a commentary track for this movie, and all we're doing
I
is
know.
talking about what we want to buy
Yeah,
off
yeah.
the
Sorry,
internet.
everybody. I'm sure you would guys would understand.
I can't help myself.
Shipping surcharge. How much is shipping altogether though? Fucking goddamn it.
I have a problem when it comes to fucking stuff like this.
Yep. Aaron, keep them posted. Daddy's gotta pee. 1 second.
Okay then.
Stranger danger, that is the truth. Don't talk to strangers that talk to you. Stranger danger, hear what I say. Stay with your friends and just walk away.
Okay then, thanks for that, Thomas. Nice of you to play that bullshit, but yeah. I mean, all you guys can probably relate to what we've just been talking about there. The fascination with merchandise and stuff like that. There's so much of it out there now. Um, it's such big business, like all these fucking t-shirts and hats, and I mean now even guys are creating their own like merch companies, and using that as like a thing and like doing really well actually.
This is why you don't chug 2 alcoholic drinks on a commentary.
Very rude, Thomas.
I know.
Very, very, very rude, Thomas.
You know, the only people that call me Thomas are the people that I've known for a long time. It's a true sign of a friendship.
People
Because
actually
when
call
even
you
Chelsea years, people
Thomas,
call me Tom. Only people that have known me well.
but people
Everyone
actually
calls me Tom.
call you
Tomcat.
Thomas.
Yes, that's my actual name.
No, I get that, like, but I just feel like it's very formal, like to be like, "Hello,
Yeah,
Thomas. Hello,
everyone calls me that shit. That's
my
what Chelsea does
friend
not call me
Thomas."
Tom unless she's mad at me. Yeah.
So she calls
Yep.
you
Everyone calls me
Thomas.
Tom though. Thomas. Yeah, no matter what.
Wait now,
It's
wait now.
I've I
This is your
it's at
fiance who
work
you're getting married to. Called you Thomas.
all the time. She doesn't call me Tom unless she's mad at me.
Okay.
Why? Why is that
I don't know. I
weird?
just find that weird. It's like Thomas, come here, Thomas.
Yep. Yeah. It's
Huh?
my name. My mom calls me that's like my mom, my friends know me as that shit. That's
Huh?
like either like
Weird.
even Billy does call me Tom, but he's known me forever. But it's because I have aliases, right? People at work call me Tommy, which is a new thing. No one's ever really called me Tommy in my life, and that's new.
I don't know why I find that kind of fascinating. I'm like, why would anyone call you Thomas?
Because that is my name. It's
I know
literally everything.
it doesn't even make any sense though. I'm like, nah, it's too formal.
Yeah, I know. My name is Tomcat. Wow. I already tell you about my chef when I was a cook. Everyone called me Tomcat, and you had to sign off on stuff that you've prepped. So if the chef like if it wasn't good enough, the chef would give you shit. And then so my chef was like, just put a kitty paw on it, and I'll know it's you. And then if I was downstairs prepping and they got busy, he'd be like, "Wow, Tomcat," and I was like, "Coming, Chris." It's fucking funny. Oh, now she's getting ready to battle. Gonna battle
Cringe.
Freddy. Is this the chick that was fucking the director?
Uh, let's see, where is she? Show your face, you stupid bitch.
So it's not her?
I don't think so. No.
Huh. She's ready to go now. Fucking A, buddy.
Good old Freddy.
Oh yeah, I like this one. Yeah.
Another iconic Freddy look. Him in his
Yeah.
scrubs.
Yeah. Well, it ain't Dr. Zeus.
I like the green in this shot.
Yeah, me too. I've always liked that kind of. That's why I put my color in green, because it does remind me of little Freddy-esque. Because it always reminds me of Freddy versus Jason when they're in that fight scene. Which, keep your ears and eyes peeled for that stuff coming down the road in the next year.
Yeah, but a little bit of behind the scenes trivia. Actually, you guys don't know, but Tom actually has a role in one of those really famous movies. So in Freddy vs. Jason, there's a scene you guys will remember where Freddy and Jason are battling, and Freddy manages to put this like water thing coming down on Jason, and he turns into his younger self. He's like this freakish, like deformed nude boy. That's actually Tom playing that part.
They didn't have to use any makeup.
Yeah, they just
My
got
eye
him
has
sticking.
always been above my nose, like way above my nose. Have I ever told you the story? Have I ever told you the story? Oh no, I shouldn't. We'll wait for a Friday 13th. Let me like when we do that commentary, we dive into that deep dive. It's gonna offend some people for sure. But let me tell you about a story about a girl that I knew in grade 6.
Oh, I laughed way too hard at that.
I've legitimately known someone who looks like Jason as a boy, but it wasn't a boy.
Huh.
Yeah, Shifty
Interesting.
died and all. 3, 4, better lock your door. 6, masturbate with a crucifix. Do you think the Exorcist where she masturbates with a crucifix? Do you think they have a dildo like that? That actually has like a dildo
Oh,
on
I'm
the end?
sure they do. They've got to, right?
This is kind of a cool set though. Like I never understand what's with all like the dirty like streamers, like the sheets like hanging from the ceiling and stuff. Like I don't know why that would really happen in a church. There you go.
Tom, everybody. Look. He just has a beard now. That's the only difference.
Is that good? Yeah, yeah. Honestly, when I was younger, if I was bald, I could have looked like that. If my teeth didn't get fixed, because I used to have an underbite, and my teeth looked pretty bad back
What's
in
an
the day. And then
underbite? Which one is that?
where your jaw goes over your top teeth. Like
Oh, yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Caveman. I used to look like that, and surprisingly, I knew one chick that was like, "I thought you looked hotter like that." I was like, "With my mangled teeth." It's like, thanks. I'm not British. We're not that accepting of that shit over here.
Here we go again with the British thing.
I know you're not British. You're from I'm Irish, right? My ancestors immigrated from Ireland like 300 years ago or whatever it was.
Everyone is Irish because we spread like the fucking Black Plague.
Flag. Yeah, you do. Yep.
In fairness, I have the opposite of that. What's when your top teeth go over your bottom teeth?
Mine are like that now. That's an overbite. Mine are like that now, literally from braces, because they like force my jaw back, and just I can't because my teeth never align in the way that they should have. But most people's don't. That's why I wonder, like, if God it does exist. And I have too many Christian friends where I'm not religious at all. I'm like, did he make our teeth all fucking mangled? Is that what was that about?
You know, if God exists, why did he have to make me so sexy?
Yeah,
I
me
often
too,
wonder
man. I
that.
don't
I'm
know
like,
why.
what the fuck? Like, why did he
Yeah,
give
why'd
me
you?
the?
I look at other people. I'm like, why, man?
Yeah, like what
I can't.
happened? Like I got it
Yeah.
all. Yeah, it's
Chicks are
strange.
really attracted to boys that look like Jason Voorhees when they're a child. I got that jaw for a munchin. So bad.
Yikes. I don't know why, but that reminded me. If you remember that scene in Freddy versus Jason, where it's like some weird flashback to where they're at the Camp Crystal Lake, and there's a camp
Yeah.
counselor fucking a chick
Oh
up
yeah.
against the wall, and then it turns
And
out
then
to be
it's
Freddy.
Freddy.
He's like, turns out this bitch is dead on her feet, and he's like waving her hand around.
Yeah. It's a necrophilia joke.
It's
I like
like
it. That's gonna be
I
a lot of
like
fun
it.
for everybody. I absolutely love that shit.
Do you know what we should do for if we do an episode or a commentary or a watch along or a live stream or something for Freddy versus Jason? We should dress up as Freddy and Jason.
Because I already have the equipment. I guess I do have both. I just don't know how I'd pull off the. I'd have to get like some hydrocephalic head or some shit. You know, I have I
All
have
you
all
have to
the
do,
hockey masks.
all you
Yeah,
have to do is shave your head.
I'll put on like I'll get a bald wig and I'll just stuff it with socks and some shit.
Just shave your head, because I'd say underneath that
I
hat it's like a
can't
bowl of
do that.
porridge.
I can't do that. If you're already aren't you already balding? You're closer than I
Basically,
am.
yeah, like my
So
hairline is like back here somewhere.
there you go. At some point, you just have to accept it and shave your head and
I
wear a
know.
hat forever.
Do you know what? Right, I've shaved my head multiple times, and I've been like, Jesus Christ! It's just like
So how is she even doing this? Because she's doing it with her mind.
that's pretty good. I like how she just slapped his head off the thing.
Yeah, I know. And now he's like just stuck. Like you see that scene where he's like trying to pull his head. That's so fake. It's creepy because you can tell it's an animatronic. Yeah, I actually think this scene is pretty creative with them all trying to come out of his chest and all the little versions of the souls he's taken are actively going against him.
Yeah, so like I think
It's kind of weird though.
the whole
Oh, there you go.
concept for that was supposed to be I think they sat down and tried to come up with a bunch of ideas on how to like externally kill Freddy. So like, for example, lighting him on
Yeah.
fire, chopping him up, blowing him up, all the different shit. And then they decided that
So what was this?
yeah, the idea was that that's kind of a common thing though, isn't it? Like with Halloween and stuff, they always try to find a new way to like, blow him up or whatever, stab him, shoot him, all that
Yeah.
shit. So they were like, why don't we try and come up with an idea where he gets killed from something inside rather than some external force? So then they come up with
Yeah.
the idea of him being killed by like the souls of yeah.
It's clever. Like
Again, like I kind of trailed off there. I was like, I feel like there could have been a good idea there, and you just kind of.
I know. That's what I do with a lot of this, but I still like them. And they need to add that one like titty shot of the chick pressing her like body through the thing, and it's just like you just do that. You guys do that on purpose.
Yeah, now I
But
see what
it's
you mean
some of
about
the
those
effects
streamer
is
yokes.
cool.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what is it?
Why
Like
was
a
that? Why would that even
haunted
be there?
house?
Yeah. Why would that even be there?
Like it's
Doesn't make
cool,
sense.
but I'm like,
Sure.
it's like
Someone hanging up their old garments up there? No, don't get it.
it's just like, oh, this is my special like church that I put up all this stuff in.
I made my church look like a haunted house. We pray to Freddy here. I'm gonna make a church just like that. Let's make a cult for like horror
Yeah, we should.
freaks.
Yeah, we should actually.
I genuinely like this film, and I'm glad that if you stuck around till the end, I'm happy for you.
Yeah. If you stuck around till the end of this one, you must really like what we do.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But I feel like this is every time, is we're giving you something a little different. So funny. I'm like so excited to get into 5 and 6, and we have talks about doing other big franchises and deep dives and commentaries and really make our staple in the horror community. with some of these films, but like I'm always gonna kind of give you my true thoughts on stuff, and I'm not gonna whitewash my commentaries. Okay.
Do you know what I do want to see actually? And I want to see it happen sooner rather than later. Scream Factory has released. I have it like that badass Friday the 13th box set. They
So
done
I have the DVD one, and I have the Blu-ray one.
I have the Blu-ray one as well from Scream Factory, that big one,
Yeah.
and I have the one they done for Halloween. They need to do like a definitive Nightmare on Elm Street box set.
Yeah, I agree. But they're not going to. Because there's like no one, like they're not putting money into it anymore.
But there isn't one out there, which is weird. Like that, Nightmare on Elm Street is such a big franchise, and it doesn't have like a proper Blu-ray set.
It does. I have it.
Nightmare on Elm
It's
Street.
just not a box. It's not a box set. It's
Yeah, that's
just
what I
like,
mean. Like it's just like
Yeah.
the generic Blu-ray. Like I'm surprised
Yeah.
that Scream Factory haven't like put like more behind the scenes and like retrospective interviews, all that shit that they do, and
You give a
posters
little
and
fun
art cards
game
and
or-
shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Because I feel
agree
like
with
you
that.
could make money off of that like quite easily.
Yep. I don't know. I give this movie a 10 out of 10. Just kidding, but when I was a kid, I would.
out of 5 Freddy fingers, what would you give this movie?
Honestly, I'll say 4 probably. It's just entertaining and fun. And for a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, it's great.
Yeah, because I think that's the key to all this. Like when people go, "Oh my god, I can't believe you just said that." It's like you have to base it off of what it is, though. We're not putting it up against
I know.
fucking, you're not putting it up against something that's like
Yeah.
after winning like 500 Oscars or anything.
No, and this is a franchise that I've always loved and found entertaining, and a movie I can watch while I'm drunk and really enjoy it. I never make love songs. I just fuck bitches with Freddy Krueger gloves on. That's a Nightmare on Elm Street. Or it's a self-titled. It's a self-titled line. That's not my own. I fucking saw that. I know.
For a second there, I was like, "Wow, prolific."
And then this rapper references that line later. How many people loved it too? It's like I'm the guy that made that rhyme about the Freddy glove or some shit like that.
Yeah, I would probably give it the same. I'd probably give it 4 Freddy fingers out of 5.
Maybe 3, but he's wagging the one finger,
Up and down, depending on how you feel.
Because I will give the original, the original to me is a 5. And well, when we get in the deep dive, obviously that's coming soon, so everybody get ready for that. But I really do enjoy doing the commentaries. Like it's fun, and I just like watching movies.
Yeah, and we
That's
just
who I am.
bullshit and
Yeah.
talk about things that have nothing to do with the movie we're talking about. But that's the fun of it, because that's
Most
what you do when
times.
you watch movies with your weird friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And we are the weirdest of all out of all your friends that you're listening to, or if I could hear it. Because you are, what does he say? He's like, you are all my children now.
that was
Everyone
actually
listen to
pretty
this
spot on,
podcast?
to be fair.
You are my children. My children.
That was pretty spot on. I'll give you that. Yeah, so appreciate everybody. If you've stuck around this long, you know where to find both of us. All the links will be down below. Whether you're watching this on YouTube, whatever podcast platform, all the links will be down below. Make sure to reach out to us. Let us know what you think of the movie. Maybe any suggestions, feedback, anything like that. If you have anything you would like to add, you can also email us. And Tom,
Yeah,
where
you
can
can
people find you?
criticize how we do this if you want to. It's
Yeah,
fine.
sure.
But you send us an email or maybe constructive criticism where you say, hey, I would like to hear more of this on the commentaries or this or that. I'm open to suggestion. Like I said, we had a plan to never to leave politics kind of out of the horror realm and keep it for my show. And I still fucking at least said one thing. So it's hard.
You're a
to
government
not-
shill, so that's why
Yeah.
you have to do it, because that's what you are.
I really hope that this is just a studio set, and then beyond this is my $1 million mansion that I'm getting paid from the government to actually live in.
See, what's actually happening now is they lift up that set and you're in Trudeau's fucking little
Cottage home that he
compound.
spent tax dollars on. Yeah, because that's probably what it is. Because now we're a communist country, so it's just
You are.
I'm
So I hear.
I'm State media or whatever, state capital media or whatever they call it. Yeah, state funded propaganda. That's what I am. So
Um,
for more bloody, disgusting fun, next time on First Class Horror.
and that was my own fault there as well. I brought that
Yeah,
on
it was.
myself.
I'm definitely dressing up for the deep dive a little bit because I gotta find my sweater. I know it's
I was gonna do
somewhere.
it for this, but
I'm
I
gonna wait.
decided
That's why I
not
didn't
to.
wear my
Yeah.
Freddy shirt yet. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that concludes our Nightmare on Elm Street 4 commentary track. Hope you've enjoyed the
Yeah.
journey into the world of the dreams and nightmares. Remember, even when you close your eyes, Freddy Krueger might be lurking, waiting to haunt you in your sleep.
Yes. And if you feel something sticky, go over your eyelids. Keep them shut because they'll burn if you open them.
We hope you sleep tight and with one eye open. And remember, never ever fall asleep on Elm Street.
To end this on, can I tell you about something my babysitter used to say to me?
I'm trying to end it on something that sounds cool, but okay.
It's not gonna happen. So I had this like older, like he's my mom's family kind of friends, and he was one of their sons. And he actually introduced me to like a bunch of horror movies, like a huge case of horror movies, stuff like that. And he'd always fuck with me. Like he got really mad at me when he made me. Listen, he made me make him KD, and then he like freaked out because I burnt the KD, and I was like 8, and I was like, I don't know how to fucking make KD. I'm 8, okay? I'm trying my best. And he used to tell me to fuck with me to sleep with one eye open, and I was like, thanks. And it always scared me, and I'm like, never did anything.
Right.
Nothing ever happened, but shit scares me, man.
There's a couple of times there in that little spiel where it sounded like you were going for a completely different story.
It usually does, and I set him up that way just to make your mind go, "What? Is he going to bring up how he got molested by his fucking babysitter?"
Because I was like, I suppose
it was not Freddy Krueger.
It is an episode about Freddy Krueger to a degree, and then you're saying like he used to fuck with me.
Yeah, fuck with me. You know. Screw, prank. You know.
So, manky
he didn't
bastard.
touch me with his claws.
Manky bastard.
Okay, everybody love everybody. You want to end it on a creepier note? Give me one more quote.
I don't have any more real creepy stuff. As you return to the real world, we encourage you to continue exploring the rich history of horror cinema. There's always more terror and suspense waiting for you, for those who are brave enough to venture into the darkness.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams.